my name is Elliot. I would describe myself as a bisexual, asexual, trans person.
Well, I would describe myself as asexual, aromantic, and as far as gender goes, non-binary.
Have you heard about a term called LGBTQ? Do you know what it stands for? L stands for lesbian, G stands for gay, B stands for bisexual, T stands for transgender, Q stands for those who identify as queer or are questioning their sexual identity. Most people have heard about this term, but how many of them actually understand what it really means? There is a big difference between just knowing and understanding knowledge. You can know a lot and not really understand anything. What do you think when you hear this term? Do you feel offensive? Do you think they are cursed? Common view of this community from people is still negative. Why it is still negative? What can help people understand LGBTQ community in a better way? Before understanding, let's start with knowing history of LGBTQ community.
Did you know Abraham Lincoln wrote the poetry and private letters about homosexual relationships? Or that the 17th century Swedish monarchy queen Christina refused to marry even though it meant abdicating her throne? When do you think LGBTQ community was built? It is much faster than what you can imagine. Even in 200s, LGBTQ community still existed. In 200 BCE, nearly every emperor in the Han dynasty had one or more same-sex partners. Since it was against major religions like Roman Catholics, many of its history was unwritten or hidden. In the 1800s to 1900s, as many of Asian immigrants came into US, and LGBTQ community started rebuilding itself. In the 1970s to today, many of API LGBTQ communities were found. 1973, the board of the American Psychiatric Association voted to remove homosexuality from its list of mental illness. 1979, the Queer Asian Pacific Islander Alliance was formed. Lesbian and Gay Asian Alliance founded. 1986, Tricon was founded. 1988, Gay Asian Pacific Alliance founded. 1991, Gay Vietnamese Alliance was founded. 1994, Asian and Pacific Islander Lesbians and Gays was founded. 1970s to early 2000s was just to build a base for LGBTQ community. It required lots of sacrifice and protest in order to build that base. Finally, from 2000s to today is start of actual building process. 2012, Mark Takano becomes first openly gay Asian American elected to US House of Representatives. 2013, first openly lesbian Asian American on the federal bench confirmed, Panela Kim Mai Chan. LGBTQ community is so much bigger than what it was in 1970s, but is it also stronger? The answer is up to its community members and third generations and how they are going to build on it. It could end up being nice and tall building or defective and small building. Most of API LGBTQ activists are second generation immigrants. As traditional culture and values still play a big role in APIs, there are lots of conflicts and tensions between first and second generations. First generations don't want to know and understand about LGBTQ culture. They simply force second generation to follow the traditions and customs without explaining why second generations have to accept those values and ideas. As society is changing frequently, second generations are creating and accepting new values and ideas every day. Third space is being created not just for cultural conflicts, but also for gender identities. Because of those reasons, most cases of conflicts between first and second generations start from...
When I was growing up, once again, I didn't know that asexuality was a thing, so there was a lot of push and pull between my parents and me saying, like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Why aren't you interested in that? And I just couldn't say, because I was just like, I'm not. That's pretty much it. There was this whole point in my life where I was questioning my sexuality, and then I realized that no, I'm just really close to this person. I don't like them romantically or sexually, so that was a whole thing. And then the whole gender thing, especially non-binary, I just didn't really fit into like a girl slot, like, if that makes sense, in like society. But then as I grew up, I also didn't really fit into like a boy-ish slot.
Okay.
So I'm sort of fluctuating between the two.
Between the two exact genders.
Yeah, they're not necessarily exact genders, but just how I feel like on a daily basis.
Right.
Like, a lot of people would say, oh, you can just choose one or something like that. And I'm like, but I don't really fit into the mold of what society says, so I'm just like, I guess I'm here now. That's fine. Oh, this is a big one. I've come out to my parents, but none of my other family know yet. They automatically assume that, oh, she'll get a boyfriend eventually. Spoilers, I won't. But it has caused problems in the sense that people keep asking me, like, hey, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? Hey, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? Hey, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? And it really just annoys me.
Right.
But there's nothing I can do because they wouldn't understand it even if I told them what was going on. So I just sort of am like, haha, not yet.
It leads to where many of LGBTQ APIs that are hiding or not expressing their true identities as LGBTQ community members. Instead, most of them are assimilating themselves into heterosexual culture. Just like Orientalism, many people still don't understand or accept LGBTQ communities. Being a member of LGBTQ communities can be sometimes really hard, especially being one in Asian culture.
Like, all of the LGBTQ people I know, a lot of, like, our anger and, like, frustration and, like, sadness just comes from the fact that, like, it feels like we have to put in just this extra effort to get what other people get automatically.
Lots of them experience discrimination from other people. They also have to live under pressure that they might be shameful to their own family. Many people know that everybody is different, but when they see people with differences, they think those people are wrong or weird. A question rises as numbers of API LGBTQ community increases. What are they trying to achieve? They are not here to destroy the world.
They need to see that we're people too. Like, they need to stop seeing us as like, oh, that person is an asexual or romantic, but what does that mean? What are they gonna look like?
Right.
I'm just a person.
As they are also part of our society, they simply like to be accepted by just being who they are. Knowing term LGBTQ is such a simple step, but understanding LGBTQ is not really a simple thing. In order to accept them, people need to look at the things in the LGBTQ's perspective. Before you go, remember these three things. First, knowing and understanding are two very different things. Second, instead of discriminating people with difference, try to understand them in their shoes. Lastly, it's not just about API LGBTQ community, but general in our life. Understanding and accepting differences is important since every human being is unique in their own ways.